All right, well, here's a few news articles I thought were pretty good. This one here I came across earlier today when we did our podcast. I didn't know this, how the mRNA personalized cancer vaccines are coming out and they're in trial. So what they do is if you have cancer, they'll do surgery to cut out the cancer, but of course some of the cells are left in there and frequently they spread and then they kill you. And they need to do something to kill those leftover cells, and it's usually something awful like radiation or chemotherapy that does a lot of side harm. What they do is they take the cancer cells and they make a custom vaccine to make your immune system attack just those cells. Just what they did for the coronavirus, which is bloody awesome. I mean, this sounds like a really big step forward to me. Like this could really work for a whole lot of diseases. Customized medicine designed just for your body. I know that's a whole new thing that sounds really good, and they're trying it. So anyway, so this is Moxie Marlinspike, who is a very brilliant cryptographer and generally a sort of rebellious troublemaker. And so what he did was he made an NFT, and he's displaying one of the huge flaws with NFTs. We're making NFTs in the crypto class. And the thing about NFTs is, I think it's awesome. But but the NFTs do is you buy an object on a blockchain, and it's supposed to be a piece of art that you bought, but the art is not put on the blockchain. Instead, they just put a URL to a link on a server somewhere. So in principle, somebody could change what's on that server, and then what you've supposedly bought will change. So what he made is, when you look at his drawing from one NFT platform, it looks this way, but when you look at it from a different NFT platform, it looks different. It reads the IP address you're coming from and the user agent of your request, and it gives you a different answer every time. What he says is, after you read it, after you buy it in your wallet, it will just turn into an emoji of poop. And of course, this is something people have said quite a lot, that the problem with NFTs is that what you're buying is not really long lasting. Basically, it's all totally a scam, like everything on the blockchain. I mean, you could just print like brass coins and sell them as collectible items. And that would probably be a lot more honest. The only reason these things are collectible and selling is just because they're a new thing. It's on a blockchain instead of being a material object. But that means, when the server goes down and when these become unpopular, they'll just stop working. And then what you bought is like even less meaningful than before. Anyway, right now they're the fashionable way to get people to donate money to artists in return for nothing much. And in the old days, you would actually, and of course, what a lot of cynical people are saying, which I think is very probably true, is that the whole point of this is money laundering. What people are doing is getting rid of illegal money by buying these garbage things that aren't worth anything and then reselling them to get clean money, which is why something of no particular value is selling for a large amount of money. It's being used for money laundering. That would seem to be probably true, and that's true for essentially the whole cryptocurrency space. I mean, why would you do any of this except if there was something illegal about your activity? Right now, there's a lot of people jumping in because they think the prices are going up and in fear of speculation, but that's the typical tulip mania effect, and those people are all going to take a bath. Anyway, this is actually quite relevant to this course. If you want to put in a rootkit in modern versions of Windows in the UEFI bootloader, it turns out that you can use, your code has to be signed, but it turns out, for some ungodly reason, that the Microsoft bootloader will accept revoked certificates. So you can take a certificate which was used by a hacking team and revoked and put it on your code. And it will accept it. So the actual signature enforcement during boot up is in fact snake oil. This has been true of many, many Microsoft security features, basically all of them. They all sound really good when they give you a simple explanation of them, and when you actually see how they're implemented, they often have giant holes in them. Like user account control was a big one. That was going to stop a whole bunch of attacks because every time you tried to elevate to administrator, a box would pop up and the user would have to agree to elevate to administrator. But it turned out that there were a whole bunch of files that could elevate without making that box pop up that were spared from that because Microsoft needed the internal systems to do that. So all you had to do was exploit one of those files. And, it always tends to be that way. It's like a lot of defenses and laws and stuff. It sounds good, but then there are exceptions. Anyway, so cross-origin resource sharing is a mess. And this is a very good article explaining it all. In the old days, you could just deep link to images on somebody else's site. But now, when you deep link to things, somebody owns it. There are restrictions on it. And so you have to somehow pass in some credentials to see whether you're allowed to get it. But if you want to share something, you have to put up some kind of file that says it's okay for this one to be shared, but not that one. And it really is a mess. And he explains the systems and the various evolutions of it. And to understand modern web hacking is interesting. Coinbase is the best Bitcoin exchange. It is the most legal, but the fact is an enormous number of people get hacked. And Coinbase has, until recently, just completely ignored them. They won't even talk to you. Like they talk about this guy, the main person here, they lost about $1 million. And he said a message came through, a phone message, an SMS came in saying, your account has been hacked. So I immediately logged into my account, and then I saw the money vanishing. And now he realizes that was the attacker sending him that original message, getting him to click on a link and log in. And that was the phishing trick. But, from his point of view, his money was at Coinbase, and now it's all gone. And why won't Coinbase do anything about it? And Coinbase is like, dude, you got hacked. It's your own damn fault. We don't care. Now they're trying to have customer support, but they really aren't making people happy yet. So it's a huge problem. That's why I'll say if you are going to put money in crypto, you really need to put your large amounts of money in an offline wallet, a cold wallet. You could do it with just a thumb drive, or you can buy a special wallet, but you should have it stored on something that is not connected to the internet. So this doesn't happen. But when you do that, you have to make sure you have backed up your private key somewhere. Because the most likely thing there is you will lose that physical object, or you will lose the key. And then you've lost all that money too. So you really need to pay attention if you're going to invest in crypto in any large amount, or you're very likely to lose your money one way or another. Anyway, there's several new drugs that actually help prevent COVID. This is what the crazy right-wingers think that ivermectin and oxychloroquine are doing, is preventing COVID. There are now some drugs that actually do that to some extent. So that's kind of good, I guess. And people are raising the prices. They can't get enough workers, so the Bank of America has now raised their minimum wage to $21. So I think that's a good thing. And this one I saw, a Pentagon official says the United States is already so far behind China, we'll never catch up. China is going to walk all over us because they're investing in AI more than we are. I'm very skeptical, but I certainly don't have much insider knowledge to be an expert on the topic. A lot of people are pushing AI like it's really going to greatly change the world. And if that's true, maybe he's right. Anyway, we're now up to the official time.